It's live now. Hi everyone. Just bear with me for just no. I need you to go out and then go into the studio. So we had some technical difficulties. I don't know if you can hear me. We had some technical difficulties, so we had to start the stream all over. Yay for us! It wouldn't be a season if we did not ever, you know,
That's bizarre. Why did it
bizarre. So we tried to do the intro, but every time we started the intro, so I'm not going to touch the intro. And so every time I started the intro, it said we were live, and then all of a sudden it said, no, this has been shut down. So I'll look into that later. But hello, Annabella. I know, Eddie Omega. But yeah. Welcome to Let's Have a Fefe. We done fuck shit up. And this is season 11, episode 29? 29. And yeah, for more than 10 years, we've been fucking this shit up on a Wednesday night.
We haven't broken the internet in a hot minute, though, so...
And, like, when I used to do it, it used to be because I was connecting everything. And so now it's, like, now that it's easier, like, it's weird that it's breaking without my help.
I just wanted you to feel nostalgic.
No. I don't like it. Take it back. If you are on the interwebs, please share this episode, because I think that the people that saw the original scheduled episode are probably looking for us, but we'll find out. Let's see. Freddy Prinze Charming over there, looking ice cold.
It's yes, but not really. If I had the antenna and stuff, I would look like the Andorian that I'm supposed to be, but I'm not wearing the antenna. Number one, we don't have the prosthetic yet. It should be here this week. And number two, the more you wear a prosthetic like that, the less smooth the edges get. So even if I had it, I wouldn't wear it, but I need to practice my makeup.
Oh, what are we talking about tonight? We talk about all kinds of stuff. We're talking about sex trivia. We're talking about all of it.
All the things.
All the things. But first, I got to get through the housekeeping. We were a little thrown off because the live stream wouldn't start at all. But if you want to continue to support us, you can support us on Patreon, where we just randomly drop tidbits and things.
I know I'm late on some stuff, and I'm sorry. This week was crazy. Work actually wanted me to work.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Which I don't understand.
You can do that on patreon.com/Let's Have a Fefe. We like to thank our patrons, and that was not a sigh of whatever. But we like to thank our patrons: Brandon, Chris, and Michelle, D, Drake Jensen, Casey Starr, Carrie and Corey, Kim. I started reading both of them at the same time. Kim, Joan, Leanne, Nicole, and Shannon. As well as we like to specially thank Success Boutique, LC Designs, and Wigs of a Kind. I heard there's a rumor that I may or may not receive hair in the next couple of weeks.
Ooh, that's exciting.
And you can help us do better. You can slide us $1 or $2 by tipping us at paypal.me/Let's Have a Fefe. You could text LHAF to 602-730-7379, because I send show updates sometimes. I did try to do one this afternoon, but like Freddie said, work wanted me to work, and I was like, what? I like need to do stuff that
I don't understand. This. I'm like, why do you want me to work all of a sudden? Like, we've been slow, and now you want me to do these things? Like, don't they understand? Like, I have other things that I need to do.
Well, I'm getting off of 2 days of graduation, so I thought, you know, like today would be like slow day, and no, it's not slow day. Anyhow, hi DJ Image. Um, and if you're on Facebook, which I think most of you are, you can click the star button somewhere and give us stars, and we get a portion of that ducat straight to our bucket. Like I said, you can help us be better. That sounds like our cause. Help us be better. I know, damn paying jobs. Yeah.
I know, what the hell? This is stupid.
How was your weekend?
It was good. It was busier than anticipated. Cause Saturday we took a couple of kids to breakfast, and then one of them had a volleyball game, and then we had sex trivia that night, which sex trivia is always fun. Like, I like sex trivia. It's what I like.
Oh, so you
It's
had a
like,
domesticated life and then you came out to the nightlife?
I did.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. You're so
But
domesticated.
it was fun, except that one fucking table. Y'all, don't be those people, and don't let your drunk friend be that guy. Like, oh my god, this table was like, it was a second round. This table comes in, and it was a gaggle of drunk
Obvious
ass
they had
millennials. Right. And
wait, there's an important message in front of you. You made your partner
I'm so
order
sorry.
food.
Mm-hmm.
So disturbing. Okay, go on.
Mm-hmm. So this table of drunk millennials is there. They're spilling shit all over the whiteboards, and then they're like, "This doesn't fucking work, man." Well, of course it doesn't fucking work. Your whiteboard is wet, you dumbass. Like, oh my god.
The funny part is watching him get mad, and I just start ignoring folks because I know what it's like to be those people. Anyway,
and it's
I
obnoxious. Like, don't let your friend be that person. And security had to go over there and talk to him because they were all being like annoying. Like, just
well, the first things first. They started yelling out answers, and then I had
wrong answers.
Yes, and then I had to like go over a little bit because they started looking at other people's answers and making other people uncomfortable. So
yeah, don't be those people. Don't be those people. If you can't drink without getting wasted and being obnoxious out in public, then don't go out in public. Drink at home and be obnoxious there to the people that you live with. Just saying.
And maybe they can't stand you, so
right. Mm-hmm.
Maybe stop drinking.
Yeah. Sunday was Mother's Day, and basically my partner asked for two things, which was get the house clean, and actually two things
Sounds
like she
an
wanted
everyday thing.
She wanted the kids to help with cleaning the house, and she asked me for a specific kind of breakfast, and then she asked for a specific dinner. So I helped inside with the kids with cleaning and tidying up, and we've discovered that the youngest has no sweeping skills. She cannot sweep. So she's walking around trying to hold the broom with one hand and the thing, and trying to sweep as she goes.
Huh.
Which isn't working very well. And then I just cleaned the counters. Who's whistling at your house, Felicia?
Who else?
Because not like we've been doing this for 10 years, Scotty. And she took the dustpan and put the dustpan on my clean counter, and I said, just put it on the floor. And she's like, what? Why would I put it on the floor? The floor is dirty. I'm like,
but that's where the dustpan came from.
The dustpan was on the floor. Very, very, very interesting. It's very interesting. So we discovered that she can't sweep. But that's okay. She's good at other things. She did like a choir concert the other night. She got one award.
She sings? I did not know that.
She had a choir concert the other night. It was cute. They had there's 4 different choirs. There's it's interesting. She's in the medium level choir, I think, thereabouts. But it was cute for the most part. and then she won an award like this morning or yesterday morning, or no, this morning at like 7 o'clock in the morning. I had to go out and get on a meeting, so I wasn't able to be there. And then there's like choir awards that are happening.
Oh my God,
That's
you have
fine.
us
They
on
can hear me. The choir was
speakerphone?
fine. The choir was good. The girl says you're rude. Listen, mixed choir was something, okay? And there's this other choir that did a medley of songs from Legally Blonde, including the Bend and Snap. Mind you, these are middle schoolers.
Oh.
Middle schoolers, okay? And they're doing the Bend and Snap, which, if anybody's seen Legally Blonde, the whole point of the Bend and Snap is to, like, okay, these girls are like
Chorus
13 and
boys.
14 years old, and like the choreography was all doing like this shit, and like as soon as they did that, the entire audience kind of went.
It's kind of like that scene in Mean Girls when they slap their butts.
Right.
Mhm.
But, you know, it's fine. We're not worried about people sexualizing middle school girls. Totally fine.
It's
Totally
okay,
fine.
but somehow we're shutting down prides because drag queens.
Right.
Mhm.
And while we were busy doing stuff inside and cleaning and cooking and things like that, Dee was actually working outside on the yard. She got a hold of the pressure washer, and then we didn't see her for like 6 hours. She pressure washed everything. I think she might have pressure washed the dog. I don't know, but she pressure washed everything. But the pool is about where it's supposed to be. We're getting it just still like getting the chlorine and the chemicals and the salt and all that stuff situated. But we're almost there. Thank God, because it's getting really fucking hot. And then for the last couple of days, I'm just gonna throw this out there. I've been watching this shit unfold on Facebook. Have you been paying any attention?
I've been working like 14-hour days for the last 2 days.
Oh, that's true.
I don't have time.
So, 2 weeks ago, we talked about holding people accountable in whatever community you're in, right? And you know, and how like lately there's been a number of times when I want to be like, I fucking told you so, like a decade ago about this person over here, right? So apparently there's shit that is hitting the fan with somebody else that we both know, both worked with, and both know is kind of problematic. And I'm like, again, could have told you this a while back, but
this is very vague,
nobody ever
look.
listens.
Okay.
If you like, I'm sitting here and I'm like, I fucking told you so. I told all of you that this was a fucking problem. For
a number of reasons,
right? It's folks that live south of us.
Oh.
And I'm wondering now what the trigger was that caused all the fucking fallout over this, because none of this shit is new. None of it. Like, none of it. But now all of a sudden people are trying to hold other people accountable, and I'm like, okay, but none of this is fucking new. So, okay. So I'm just sitting back because nobody ever wants to listen to me. So I'm just like, all right, well, maybe y'all will finally listen to all these other people that are saying shit, but it's fine. So, how was your weekend?
So I did see you post about go to the 16th mark. I read that really quickly. Was that today? Yesterday?
Yeah, because I was like, ooh, people must have watched the Fefe.
So Thursday and Friday, I had to stay home with the baby. Not the baby, but the older baby.
The other baby?
Yeah. Because
so not Scott?
No. That would have been nicer than what I was doing, but there was a lot of cleanup. Let's just not gross everybody out by talking about that. But Saturday night we did sex trivia, and I want to say that some of the teams were really into it, and then there were some people that showed up in the second round that were sexperts, and I could hear them talking about answers, because I think that they think because I'm not really paying attention and I'm sitting at the computer that I can't hear them. But I have news for a lot of you. I can hear really well. And so like I hear conversations and I'm like thinking to myself, like, especially the numbing creams, I don't know what it is with y'all and the numbing creams, but y'all are into it and need to be safe about it. But I just hear some answers and I think, how have we misled you? How has life led you this far? And you, oh,
That was my doorbell.
Someone is at the worst watch.
Thank you. Yeah.
well,
Babe, there's somebody at the door.
You made her order food.
I'm sorry.
Anyway. This is just going to be one of those episodes.
It is. It's fine.
So I just want y'all to know that I encourage you to come back to Sex Trivia. We need to have this on a weekly basis. We need to talk to Gracie's about that.
Oh my God, how many times are they going to ring the doorbell? Answer the fucking door. Oh my God.
Excuse us. Real life is happening around.
Lord.
Oh, he pressed the doorbell.
What the fuck? Really? Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I love episodes like this. Anyway, Sunday, pretty chill. Worked yesterday and the day before that, 14 hours. Yay. And then had a little rehearsal before this.
That's good. Is it? How's it coming? Is it coming along? Is it good?
Yes.
At least people show up to your rehearsal.
Well, it was on Zoom, but also
the last one I had was too, and the same people showed up, and it's fun.
I do my best when I can, but yeah. So that I can't wait to see all of these things come together and be.
I think it'll be good. We're like down to the wire, like really down to the wire, but it's fine.
Also, if you have not got your tickets for Fan Fusion, you should do that. I think.
I think there might even be a few of the VIP tickets left in terms of seating.
Yeah. So, you want to see the drag show at Phoenix Fan Fusion, and if you don't get a VIP seat, it's first come first serve, and I will tell you that the seats go way back, and they're not elevated.
Nope. The stage is elevated, but still.
Maybe bring your binoculars if you plan on being late.
Give opera glasses. Yeah,
opera glasses.
So on the lines of like, rehearsals and all that thing. This actually, I was thinking about this today, and I'm like, we've talked about this sort of thing in like passing, but we've never actually like talked about it. So I figured that tonight would be a good time to sort of talk about the whole, like, it's not personal, it's business. Because we've all had to deal with it, when it's the lines of business and friendship like cross and those lines get blurry, and it opens the door to things like hurt feelings and resentment when you don't get the treatment you think you're entitled to because of your friendship with whatever person it is. And like in the drag and burlesque world, there's a lot of that crossover. A lot of people hang out with, date other performers because that's
not you.
What your bubble is, and like, mind you, I don't do a lot of producing these days, but when I do, it's usually for, bigger events like the Steampunk Con or like Fan Fusion and things like that. Like,
I feel like somebody like me has asked you to, but you just deny me.
Deny you what? Oh, but we don't have a venue good enough for what you want me to do, because there isn't. But when I'm producing something like that, and regardless of whether it's a small event or a bigger event or whatever it is, if I'm producing, that means I'm going to be a stickler for things like deadlines, rehearsals, stuff like that. Which I'm like, this is, I don't know why
Are we
anybody
good?
else would want to drop the ball on that.
I
Like,
think we're good.
I'm like, I have seen queens complain about why do we need to send music in early for shit, and I'm like, okay, but
Hmm.
if the producer is saying I need your music by this date, then what's the fucking problem? Especially if it's for a bigger thing. Like, if it's for a bar show, all right, maybe like you can send it in later, but
So
people like to have
I'm
their shit ready
I'm
and
kind of
not trying to
iffy.
scramble last minute. Like,
I'm iffy when it's at a bar, and I do know that some people like to just have all the music together, so that when they go to the bar, they give it to the DJ, say this is how it's gonna go, and this is where. But for like little ditties, I'm like,
it's I mean, it's hard because even for bar shows, it's a pain in the ass running around trying to get everybody's music, making sure it all works,
mhm,
because how many times have we gone to gone to a bar show or whatever, and somebody's music doesn't want to fucking play, or they're
mhm.
like, "Fine, here's the YouTube link." Oh, no, 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 like no, like that. There's just I don't know, like. And I've seen people go, completely radio silent in groups, even though they're posting on social media. I've seen people try to kind of overstep their boundaries because they happen to be friends with like a producer or something and kind of take over or like throw their
Mhm.
weight around. And here's the thing, okay, when it
He's not
comes
talking
to
about me.
no,
I can promise you
no.
that.
So, but okay, so here's the thing, okay, when it comes to shows or and I'm speaking for me, but I feel like this should really be common practice, and it's kind of not. Like, there's a lot of nepotism and stuff that happens. A lot of nepotism that happens. And, when it comes to things that I'm producing, my whole thing is it's not personal, it's business. If there's a deadline for music or promo materials, tipping QR codes, whatever the fuck
Oh
it is,
shit!
if you don't get me that shit, then there's going to be consequences. Like, it's really fucking easy. It's called accountability and
Really
responsibility.
fucking
If
easy.
for any other fucking job, if there's a deadline that you're given and you don't make the deadline, there's consequences. We're
Like,
fucking
yeah.
adults. Like, we should know how this works. Like, if you don't take performing seriously enough to do what you need to do, then maybe you shouldn't be performing. Like, I'm just, because it's still a fucking job. It's still, you've committed to do something and be somewhere. So,
So, can I put this into a different perspective? So,
yes.
I work with entertainers and entrepreneurs in a different capacity, and sometimes I will be approached in a way that I'm like, no, I need to have ample time. I don't do this like you give it to me the same day and I turn things out the same day. That's not how
Right.
that works. And so I've gotten better with timing, um, I can say, but when you, um, if when you put it on the person like as if it's their fault that you didn't plan, then that's when I, as the creative, go, no. And it took me a long time to be able to hold people accountable and say, like I can't do that. Uh,
Right.
and it actually happened to me this week. So um, there's no way that I could have done something for someone on Monday or Tuesday. I was at the end of the day. I'm not coming home to bend over backwards for that.
Right.
I have a personal responsibility to take care of myself. And if I say no, you should know that I have thoroughly thought about it cuz I'm a yes person.
Mm,
If I am telling you no, like,
right. Right. That just and accept the no and move
and it's
on.
not personal. It's strictly
Right.
A, I need to take care of myself, and B, business. I'm not a pizza person. Don't send me something and then go, okay.
Right. Like, it's not like a 30-minute delivery or it's free kind of thing. Like, and I mean, maybe my standards are too high. I don't know. Because from what I've seen, people seem to let a lot of shit just slide, which I would not let slide.
Mm.
So if you no call, no show on a show, if you just don't fucking show up, that was your one and only chance with me. That's it. I don't care if we're friends. I don't care if we've worked together before. I don't care. I will never invite you to be a part of something again after that. I just won't. And especially if you don't even address it after the fact, like at all. If you're not, hey, I'm really sorry. Like if you just nothing, that's a problem for me. And not only will I never invite you, but if people ask me to recommend people, you will never be someone that I recommend because you blew it. Like you didn't fucking show up to a job.
Yeah.
Like and for some reason, there are people that do that a lot and still manage to get booked a lot
Or have their own shows.
or have their own shows. And I'm like, how the fuck does this even happen? Like, and like, if I know people that like they've no called, no showed on me and come to find out it's something that they've done regularly, but people still book. I'm like, I don't care how talented you are. I don't care. Like I'm not gonna chance it and book it and then have you bail again. Like I can't do that. You know, that's putting my reputation on the line. And like, and this is something that is, I'm gonna say this right now. If you know that you are a part of a large event that is happening and most of the communication is happening primarily in like a group online or on social media, like a Facebook group or whatever, because that's the easiest way to get people together without having a fucking group chat where people go on. I hate group chats for shit because people go on fucking tangents and then it's like notification. It's fucking annoying.
Guilty.
I hate that shit. So I will never put people in a group chat. I will put, people in a group or whatever, right? And if you know that that is the case, if you know that you are a part of whatever this thing is, and that, there are things that are happening in that group and you don't interact or respond or whatever within that group, the chances of you being asked to come back in the future, probably not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have to chase your ass down and be like, hey, did you see this post? No, I shouldn't have to do that. Like which is like with the Fan Fusion group, I'm like, turn your notifications on so that you see if something gets posted in the group, because both myself and Guido post things in that group. And if you don't see them,
well, and so the funny part is like, I know how this stuff works. Anyway, I know how this stuff works. So like, since you know people in common, it will, like if, who the other day, somebody commented the other day. So I didn't initially see you post, but I saw that it said somebody commented on Freddy's post in the group.
right.
So then it's like reminding you like 3 times that,
Right.
especially as everybody goes and you're friends with those people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like it's hidden.
Right. It's
if
there.
You know what I mean?
And if you're one of those people that you forget, set a fucking reminder on your phone for like every couple days to go check some shit, because like I said, I'm not going to chase you down. If you don't get things to me or whatever.
At first, and then now y'all are putting stuff in there. I got to catch up.
Mm-hmm. Like I have a lot of friends that perform. Like we both do. We know a lot of performers, whether it's drag, burlesque, whatever. Like we know a lot of performers.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them are really fucking talented. Like some of them really are. But also some of them I will never ask to be a part of a show that I'm producing because of previous fuck ups. Like, especially if it's a one-time thing and it's something relatively minor, all right, I might give you another shot. But if you do it again, if you do something major, and then
the thing that used to bother me back in the day when I produced a show was that you said yes to a booking. I had set aside money for you and discovered that you had gone to another show.
Oh God, I remember people would do that shit all the fucking time. Like, it's not. It's not okay. Like, and it's not that I don't think that people are bad performers, but
Mhm.
the professionalism isn't there. And that affects my reputation. If I'm booking people that aren't professional, they don't get their shit together,
Ooh, I
they
want to
bail
talk
on
on
a
this.
show. Yeah. Yeah.
So I have a problem with this too.
Mm.
So our push is to be public forward, right? Don't put things on the internet that you wouldn't want. I always say this: don't put stuff on the internet that you wouldn't want it printed on the newspaper, because it lasts forever and people remember forever, right? And so,
And
like,
even if you delete, people have screenshots.
yes, and so, like, don't, first and foremost, if you're gonna, because there, I support mental health, and in some instances, some folks have canceled because of mental health issues. Let's say that first. I know family issues come up. I know all that. Talk to the show director or whoever booked you first. Talk to whoever might be in the show who might be concerned about you next. And then, if necessary, say, I have removed myself from these bookings because of personal
Right.
reasons. You don't even need to go
But
into all the details, because
all
some of
right,
y'all go
but
into
talk
such
to the fucking
detail.
director, producer, whatever first, because otherwise, if I see it on Facebook, I'm gonna be like, "Were you not gonna fucking tell me?"
I mean,
Like,
and
were you
that's the
just?
disappointment.
And
Yeah.
with the algorithms, you don't see shit on Facebook. Like
Well,
I
and
don't I
I'm so
and
sorry
that's
when people walk up to me and say, "Didn't you see it on Facebook?" No.
I literally see the same like 5 posts on Facebook, and I don't understand why that is, but whatever. Like it's very bizarre. I don't know why it does that. Like it.
Oh, you need
But
to
and that's the
tell it to
thing is
change
that
it.
it is
Mhm.
not personal. It's business, and when your lack of professionalism affects my business, that's where I draw the line. We can still be friends. I'm just not gonna book
Mhm.
you for shit. Plain and simple. Like I'm still gonna say hi. I'm still gonna be like, hey, how you doing? Whatever. But I won't book you, and I won't recommend you to other people, and I won't be like, oh yeah, take this person because they're really great. Like I just won't do it because I don't want to put somebody else in a position where they potentially have someone that no call no shows and just bails on a fucking show. Like I'm not,
And
you
another
know,
perspective. Another perspective is, if you're working with another business person on something and you've hired someone else instead, it's fair to let the other person know that you're not working with, that you've hired somebody else, so that they don't go through the effort of something
right,
that you asked them for.
right. This is basic shit, y'all. Like I don't, mm, but I
And
feel
don't
like
be sending me messages asking whose name, because
mm,
that don't matter.
don't.
It's all of y'all.
If you are somebody's friend, don't feel obligated to book them if you don't think that they're going to show up or whatever, or be professional, or if you don't think they're a good entertainer. Don't feel obligated to book them because not everybody is a good entertainer. I'm just saying.
Well, and
And if
I
you
have
are
been in a position like that too, where somebody's like, "But we're friends." I'm like, "And
okay,
it's my show, and if I
nothing to do
keep
with
booking
anything,
you, the bar
right?
can go like, why do you keep booking this person?"
Right. And if you're a friend of somebody, don't think that you're entitled to a booking or whatever just because you happen to be friends with this person, because you're not entitled to shit. It doesn't matter whether you're friends with them or whether you're fucking them or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Oh, oh,
It doesn't. Like, but again, nepotism, it's real. You just have to kind of look at things and you see like, oh,
but
yeah.
you're
But
supposed to. You're supposed to do that for me.
yep. Absolutely. Mhm.
Speaking of the weird and rowdy, um, Martha Stewart, Martha Stewart, Martha Stewart. I give it two. So I am a little peeved at this story, only because I'll tell you later, after I read this. But at 81, Martha Stewart is the cover girl for Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. This year, the issue will also feature a trans model and singer, Kim Petras, as well as women in their 40s and 50s, and curvier women who don't fit into the societal norms of being hot. So, The only reason why I'm really mad is because there was a beautiful cover, and I can't find it when I looked for it quickly, and I'll post it if I find it. But this beautiful Asian woman who is like in her 80s or 90s, and she is gorgeous and tattooed, I think.
Oh, yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And so I was loving that moment, and nobody said anything. Nothing.
That was that Vogue?
I think so, but that's probably why I couldn't find it, because I couldn't remember the magazine. But beautiful cover. It didn't require chest, breast, or whatever, but she is gorgeous on this cover, and y'all slept on her for real.
Yeah,
This is why
this is true.
Asian lady did it wonderfully, and then we have Martha Stewart. I was like, no. I'm mad at this story because we slept on beautiful old girl. I was like, no. Martha can have her moment, but I'm not about it.
I have that. If you want me to, I can try and share
throw it up on there.
Let me see.
Because that is a beautiful moment. And there's other pictures of her. Sit down, Martha. Sit down. Let's see this. Oh, yes. There she is. She is gorgeous.
There. I think that's fucking fantastic. Yeah.
Look at her.
She's 106 years old.
Yeah.
And a traditional Filipino tattooer, basically. She does like the whatever, the pokey thing. Yeah.
But I was this did not get a moment like how Martha is getting her moment.
No, and it should have, because she was she's absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning.
This is where misogyny and privilege
Martha
dropped
Stewart's
into
white. That's
it.
how that.
That's what happened.
I mean, props to Martha Stewart. That's great. Whatever, more power to her. I'm glad to see that Sports Illustrated is branching out and doing things a little bit differently than they used to do, including, having a trans model, women in their 40s and 50s, curvier women, whatever. Fantastic. But yes, no, I absolutely agree that I mean, a bigger deal. I mean, she's white. That's the only reason why. Like,
so. Okay.
So the Supreme Court has refused to block a ban on assault weapons in Illinois. Basically, they're staying out of it. So they're not. Right. It's kind of interesting. They're not kind of doing anything one way or the other. The Second Amendment, activists are basically saying, no, you need to block this ban. You need to block this ban. And the Supreme Court's like, we're not going to touch this, which is funny because they're not willing to touch that, but they're willing to touch other rights. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. But there's a city in Illinois that is looking to ban assault weapons. And I think they're succeeding. Which is why it's.
I heard, and I may be wrong, you can correct me, that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, well, Joe Biden has to do the executive order. So anyhow, that's supposed to have people have stricter background checks and things.
Ain't gonna do shit. Not gonna do shit. They need to flat out ban assault weapons. Like, there's no.
I heard you. But according to this
bullshit.
So according to this, new order, but it has to be put in place by Congress, which made my eyes roll so hard because I was like, they're not going to do it. And so there are attempts happening around the country. And like as soon as they get to a certain level, they stop.
Mm-hmm.
And so, again, I will emphasize that if you believe that guns should not be, or assault weapons, should not be a public. I feel like there's like a way of saying this, like they should be privately held, or they should be
I don't think
whatever.
assault weapons shouldn't be available outside of the military. Period. There's
Yeah.
no reason why anybody in the private sector should own an assault weapon. None.
So,
Zero.
there are
And don't
people
give me this bullshit about I'm hunting. That's not fucking hunting.
hunting people. Excuse me. But there are ways of changing policy, and we know some of those people, and so, like, you just have to. Politics is a thing you just gotta. That's why people get so tired of it, because it's something that you just keep repeating yourself, and you think everybody
Right.
heard you, but there's one person in the back that changes the whole room's vote,
Right.
kind of thing. So that's why we keep repeating it. If you believe in it, go take care of
Doing
it.
what
City
you're doing.
level,
Yep.
all the way up. Let's see. Speaking of politics, city level, and all that, Colorado Springs has elected its first Black non-Republican. Why did that make me laugh? Non-Republican mayor. Say his name.
Yemi Mobolade.
Okay. Ran as an independent, beating out the Republican incumbent in the runoff election. I think that's amazing. I just hope
Colorado
that,
Springs is a very conservative
yeah, that's what I
bubble
was gonna
in
say.
Colorado.
I hope that the people inside that bubble don't, kind of like how the Obama era turned into like the Trump era, so to speak, and people were like, "No, this is our true colors."
Speaking of true colors, hold on to your hats for
Oh
this
my God,
one,
this
folks,
one's
because
a
this is
big
not
one.
okay.
Here we go.
So, DeSantis signed into law a gaggle of new restrictions on trans healthcare, drag shows, bathrooms, and pronoun usage today. He stated that Florida will remain a refuge of sanity and a citadel of normalcy. Okay, first
It's
of all,
like the
what?
biggest
Does he
party
know where the
state.
fuck he lives? There's nothing in Florida that is sane or normal. Why do you think Florida man is like a whole thing?
So, pause. Are we taking out all of Miami nightclubs? Because those are different than any club I've ever been to.
Right.
Are we taking out,
He obviously doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. It's, So, included in these bills, trans youth are prohibited to receive any sort of gender-affirming care, including hormone blockers. Under the new law, it would be considered child abuse, and the kid could be removed from the home. Yeah. Teachers and faculty must use the pronouns that align with the kid's sex assigned at birth. And licenses could be taken away from establishments if minors attend drag shows. That could be any establishment, regardless of whether it's an all-ages thing or not. Another law prohibits trans folks from using a bathroom or changing room that aligns with their gender identity while in government buildings, public schools, prisons, or state universities.
Hear me out. I don't agree with this at all.
Why are we so obsessed with people's genitals?
Why are we obsessed with trans people? Why can't we? What?
I'd be like, okay, so I'm going to start going into the women's changing room. You think they'd be okay with that?
There's a blind item that Ron is trans? How you mean?
What is that? What?
What does that mean?
What? I don't know what that means. That doesn't make
Type
any
that
sense.
again. Type that again. I don't know what that means.
But can you imagine, like, what do you think, like, what do you think a woman would be more comfortable with? A trans woman going in and changing in a changing room, or me going in and changing in their changing room? Who do you think they'd be more
I've
comfortable with?
accidentally walked into a women's bathroom before, and you know how feminine I am. People still will be like,
Right,
what?
like right when I first started transitioning, because I've had like short hair and stuff for ever. I'd be at work and I'd be going into the women's restroom, and like women would be coming out and they'd be like looking at me, and they'd kind of look at the door and they'd think that they were in the wrong restroom. Like the people are so fucking stupid. And I still don't fucking understand. How do I contact fucking Biden at this point? Because legitimately, this shit should not be happening. And it's pissing me the fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
so I feel like people are insecure. You catch that? You catch that? Anybody? Men. I feel like cis het men, are afraid of what happens when they become attracted to trans folks.
oh, for sure.
I
But
feel
then,
like these are projections of people's insecurities that they feel protect them.
it's like, but it's fucking stupid though, because like, are they worried that if I walk into the men's changing room and I change and they see my genitals, that they're gonna want to like, they're not gonna be able to control themselves, and because I have a vagina,
No, I think
they're gonna immediately be like, oh no, there's a vagina in here. What do we do? Do we have to touch it? We have to touch the vagina.
So, also, clearly in 2020, we became very liberated. We became very strong during the pandemic. I would say, and there's a lot of things that were written during 2020 that were focused on the queer community and the Black community. They don't say that they are, clearly, but I feel like we've talked about this before. Cis het white men do not like when minority groups become powerful or when they have an uprising. And for that, drag queens led the charge. We're going to take them out. We're going to write a law. Oh, well, trans people were, up there with them. Okay, take them out. We'll go back to having our weird cis het boring life where we don't know anything about sex because they come to sex trivia. Anyway, and then we're supposed to live in this boring, hide it because we don't want to see it. That's where I feel that people are so insecure. They're fucking insecure about themselves. They write these things into law. And these are the same people that advocate for the, oh, I didn't know she had a penis kind of deal. And they feel like they're embarrassed. So they write some huge law about, like, they make shit up sometimes. And so, like,
well, that's like the whole like gay panic bullshit. Basically, it's like, I thought he was hitting on me, so that's why I murdered him. Or, oh, I thought she was really hot and we were making out, and then all of a sudden I realized that she was a pre-op trans woman, and oh my god, like she tricked me. And did she though? Did she? Because I'm gonna call bullshit on that.
But I also
and like I said,
was
I
an
think
athlete in a locker room where men touched each other. So
I'm like, why are you? My question still remains: why are you so obsessed with people's genitals? Because if I were to walk into a changing room or a men's restroom, unless you told me to take my fucking pants down, you would have no fucking idea that I was not born a man, that I was not assigned male at birth, and it's absolutely fucking ridiculous. And I think that there's something, like I said, I think there's some weird, like, there's something weird in cisgender heterosexual men's brains where they, and I think this, like I said, rather than teaching people, don't sexually assault someone, we teach people don't get sexually assaulted. Yes. And it's like, if, like I said, if I were to go into a men's restroom and take my clothes off, or go into a men's changing room and take my clothes off, it's like, okay, so you see that these people are, oh my God, there's this person, and this person kind of looks like a dude, but there's also a vagina, which means that we probably have to fuck it, which, whatever. And then you send a trans woman into a men's changing room, and, the men are like, oh my God, this woman here is really fucking hot, whatever. And then all of a sudden she takes her clothes off, and oh my God, there's a penis, which means that they're really a dude, which means that now but I was like attracted to him, so that makes me gay. So what do I do now? I have to beat him up or something? Like it's really fucking ridiculous. And I'm so fucking angry that it's 2023 and this is still a thing. Thank God we have the governor that we have right now, because otherwise we would be thoroughly fucked. But I'm going to say again that leaving this shit up to states' rights is horseshit and needs to not happen. And I'm going to say again that the last time things were left up to states' rights, it did not go so well for them. And I don't know what needs to happen. I don't know how we get a fucking message across to fucking Biden. I don't know if I have to sit here and do TikTok after TikTok after TikTok, because I fucking will if I have to. But the fact that there's still nothing from Washington is so disappointing. Nothing. I haven't heard shit. At this point, I almost care less about whatever Band-Aid they plan on putting over gun control, because that's not going to happen. It's not going to do anything. And this isn't even being addressed. And I don't understand it.
Well, Gage says a trans woman here was found not guilty for indecent exposure after being jailed for using a locker room in the YMCA.
I almost want to go to Florida and then just start going and using all the women's rooms and see how fast I get arrested. Because it's the thing is, though, is that is what it's that kind of shit that will finally make people. I don't know. It's like, well, you want to, okay, I can't use the bathroom that aligns with my gender identity. Okay, well then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go into this women's room right here and see what happens. And they want to try to arrest me. They want to do whatever. It's like, fantastic.
Well, pretty soon they'll say,
and see what happens.
I'm waiting for the silliness to drop, because if we keep letting stuff like this happen, things like Black people eating, stereotypical foods will not be allowed. You must eat bland chicken on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, and not gather as a group after church. How ridiculous does that sound? Tell me it sounds ridiculous, and then put in there that trans people can't be anywhere. That's what these laws say to me. They say you cannot be anywhere or exist.
And that's exactly what it is. They're trying to make it so that we don't exist, even though it doesn't matter how many fucking laws they passed. We're not going to not exist.
And Vinny,
and if anything,
not to
it's
say
going to
that
make
you should be, but I think that you should be.
And that's the thing. It's like, all it's going to do is it's going to piss people off. And when you piss a group of people off,
and then that's when they start writing other laws, because we're focused on the trans rights. We're focused on queer things that affect us. And then all of a sudden, we're going to, throw this little tax in here. So when you get your liquor license, mostly the gay bars, we'll tax that license way more.
There are nonprofits that are setting up funds to help people move out of states like Florida and Arkansas and things like that because of these bills. Frankly, I would fucking love to see a mass exodus of queer and trans people from states like Arkansas, states like Florida. I just move the fuck out and watch the state's revenue
And can somebody asked me about this earlier? Maybe it was last week, but Disney, yes, is a little flip floppy, but they're still supporting some of the folks, not all of the folks. They have backed down a little bit, not enough. And they're also fighting against good old what's his name, DeSantis. And so, like, there's a weird little area, gray area, that is becoming very telling that we want things back to cis het white 1950s America, where we can ride on the back of trucks and throw rocks at people.
Yep.
Tell me I'm wrong.
We'll
Tell
bring
me I'm
back the
wrong.
good old lynchings, because that's
Tell
the
me I'm
easiest way to
wrong.
take care of things. We're gonna make America great again. Remember, that's the whole point. Like, I
Death scientist.
That's pretty much it. Like, that's literally what he's doing, and this shit blows my mind. I want to see a fucking mass exodus. I want to see people get the fuck out of those states.
Also, the person that thinks of, like, what else could we be spending this money on? So here in Arizona,
well, if you're in Florida, education would probably be a good start.
They have a huge homeless population in Florida. In fact, they have camps. What are they doing with that money? If instead of focusing on people that are trying to better themselves and live their authentic life, why not help the people that need the help? Or
we don't do that. We don't do that. No, we don't want to do that. We have all this fucking money, and we're fine. We'd rather spend it on pushing kids towards harming themselves because they're not getting the care that they need. But it's fine. It's fine.
Put more money into mental health as a state.
Oh no, we don't want to do that. All these fucking politicians would lose their jobs.
Come on.
All the Republicans would be classified as like mentally unstable.
With pensions coming up and mortgages close to paid.
I get it.
That's easier said than done. I know.
I get it. Believe me, I do. I
put your whole life into it.
I hate that people continue to, put money into a state that doesn't give a shit. Like, literally just wants them dead. Like, it blows my fucking mind. And again, the silence from Washington is deafening.
And isn't that the same state that doesn't want us to say gay?
Yep.
It's offensive to the politicians.
To all the things. All the things.
Because gay is not a new word. Queer is not a new word.
None of this is fucking new. None of it. Like, I
just feel like there's this weird vibe of, like, they put a hat in the middle of the room and they're like,
Like, I don't know how to get fucking Biden's attention and be like, yo, what the actual fuck? Because something needs to happen,
like,
and I don't even know how to do it. Like,
oh yeah, the book banning. Oh,
what am I saying? If you want to put some money, maybe some education, because if you like spent money on education, maybe this shit wouldn't be happening. Just saying. Anyway, I could go on and on. What gigs do we have coming up?
We're gonna be at Phoenix Fan Fusion.
This is true. We have Fan Fusion.
June 2nd.
So June 2nd, for those of you going to Phoenix Fan Fusion, and I highly recommend you do. It's a good time anyway. It's like it's fun. So it runs June 2nd through, what is it, the 5th? 4th. So the 2nd through the 4th, I don't even know. June 2nd is the drag show that starts at 7, and then immediately after is the burlesque show. Both are going to be fantastic. I'm so excited for both of them. And then don't forget
that 2 fabulous shows at the same time,
right? It's like back to back. It's like a double feature.
Yeah.
And then Friday at noon and Saturday at noon, there will be drag story hour. Fridays is what was I going to say? like fantasy fairy tale themed, and then Saturday is sci-fi themed. So both will be fun. If you're around FanFusion, come check us out at all the things. The drag show, I believe, is all ages. The burlesque show definitely is not all ages. So don't make your kids do that.
I'm at Drink Me Tea Room on
June 28th?
June 28th. But before that, we will have sex trivia. Is it June 10th? I keep
June
trying
10th.
to pull up my... Okay, because my calendar is not...
We need to set up an event.
As long as we must not show it to the millennials. Oh
my God.
I'm just kidding. They need to come more than anybody. Figuratively and literally. Yes. Anyway, yes. So June 10th, sex trivia at Gracie's Text Bar. And then on June 28th, I will be at Drink Me Tea Room. Is that in Tempe?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And
I'll post
are we
more
doing
details as it gets close.
Is next week our finale or the week after? Did we decide next week? Because the week after is right before con.
Yes, it's next week.
Next week. So next week, folks, is our season...
God, that came pretty quick.
I know. Season 11 finale. I almost said season 10. Season 11 finale is next week. So who knows what we'll be doing. Could be anything. No fucking clue.
We plan things sometimes.
But then we'll be taking a break for the summer like we usually do. Until like FanFusion's over, things are it's, but keep an eye on the Patreon. We will be posting things there. We'll be trying to find some fun things to do, some extras. I have some ideas for some fun extras for Patreon. So if you don't want to miss us during the summer, make sure you subscribe to the Patreon and catch all the things that'll be happening there.
I have an idea too, but I don't want to say it right now.
Okay. Excellent. So,
but look on Patreon for that. Look on Patreon for that.
That being said, make sure that you tune in next week and join us for our season 11 finale, which means at the end of the summer we'll be rolling into season 12, if you can believe that shit. Lord, that is crazy.
I feel like we just did a photo shoot.
I know. That's
fine. We just used our...
Thanks for tuning in, Vinny. Please be safe out there.
Yeah, prayers, thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, that helps. So
yikes. All right. Thank you to everyone for joining our Wednesday night conversation. And thank you to all of you who watch live and watch on the replay. And with more than, we're almost at 11,000. I don't know how this keeps happening. I don't know who's listening to us. But
somebody
if you
is.
Are,
it's one person just keeps.
Thanks for listening. And you could always leave us a review. Hope nothing less than 5 stars. I just want to let you know that that's all we'll accept. And we will see you next week for your Wednesday night conversation. Good night. Let me see if I can play the outro.
We're going to try it.